Is Ashanti Jane, and I'm 28 years old, and I am from Florida. I have been using drugs since I was 19 years old. My drug use caused me to have a psychotic episode where I literally lost my mind. During this time, I had no idea what my mother or father looked like, only that my mother had green eyes. I couldn't control what I was doing or saying. The only things I truly remember is me searching for my parents. A moment where I was surrounded by many hospital security was around me trying to get me under control and get me to calm down. And finally a moment where I was telling the nurses about the Lord. I remember randomly waking up and telling the nurse John 3:16 and going right back to sleep. The Lord supernaturally rescued me. The next time that I woke up, my mind was completely restored. It was about 12 hours from the time that I lost my mind to it being restored. Upon waking up, I looked down and saw the band on my wrist said Jane Doe. I wasn't even able to give the people at the hospital, my name. At this moment, I knew that I needed help and needed to change my life. After spending a couple days in a mental institution, I went home to my mother's house where my search for a program began. My mother and I literally spent weeks searching for a program, and that would accept me because of the psychotic episode, bipolar diagnosis, and by this time I had been clean for a couple of weeks. There was no success in finding somewhere that would accept me. I remember spending 45 minutes on the phone with a program in Florida doing an interview only to find out the next day I was rejected. The hopelessness and despair that I felt after that was unexplainable. And we did some more research and my mother found Miriam House. I called and did an interview and was accepted right away. It was a relief to finally be given the opportunity to change my life. The Lord has done so much during my time here at Miriam House. I have built a deep relationship with Him here, which is something I didn't have before. I grew up in church, but never truly had a relationship with Him. I have learned to call upon Him first, to pray about everything as my first defense. I have learned that it is okay to receive love, and then that everyone is out to hurt you or want something from you, which is completely different from how I thought when I first got here. I'm learning how to surrender to the Lord, to surrender the plans that I want for what He wants. Learning how to walk in obedience to the Lord is a fundamental key to not going back to the old way of living. During my time here, relationships with my family that was previously strained has been restored. The bond between my mother and I is stronger than it has ever been before. Hallelujah. And I'm able to be a good example to my little brother and sister. And I've been able to build a stronger relationship with my father. Through the curriculum and classes here, I have been able to get to the root problems and core issues as to why I was doing drugs in the first place. It has set up the pathway to the Lord to do some deep healing. The Lord is always showing me that He still wants to use me. Sometimes living the way that I used to, I thought that He would never use me, that He wouldn't want to use me, but that's a lie.
That's right.
The blood is sufficient enough to wash away all our transgressions. The Lord has made that an example in my life by opening the doors and allowing me to sing on the worship team at Canvas Community Church. Yeah. I am currently a student leader and have been given the opportunity to pour into the ladies the same way that I was poured into. When I graduate, I will be signing on as staff for 6 months to help disciple other women. I will then return home and finish my education to become an ultrasound technician. I just want to give a special thank you to all the donors, partners, and supporters that has helped to make Miriam House possible for women like me to become restored, healed, and whole. I am forever grateful.